In-house counsels will often talk about becoming more strategic, but most of the time, you're too bogged down in transactional work to have any breathing room to look at the bigger picture. At Fynk, we believe the key to stepping back is in empowering business teams to handle more of their own transactional work. So here's what we mean. Typically, when a client suggests changes to your standard terms, sales says, "All right, legal, you take it from here." Then they leave you to haggle over what's usually the same few standard terms and fit one of your acceptable positions. Now, with traditional tools like Word, you can't let sales change anything in the text without letting them change everything. And when that's the case, you still have to do a final review. So you're not saving any time by letting them make changes on the front end. But at Fynk, we do things differently. With us, business teams are empowered to negotiate within the confines of your predefined fallback positions. This way, you can reduce the number of contracts that require hands-on legal effort without introducing untold risk of letting business teams edit contracts word by word. So, let's say you've reduced your legal touch rate for sales agreements. That's freed up time for yourself, but what are you going to do with that time? Well, now that your business teams are negotiating using your pre-approved clause versions, you can track on that and report it. So in this example, I'm able to identify that 80% of the time, our customers are pushing back on our preferred language in the publicity clause. So with this data, I've identified the opportunity to change our default position there. And since I can see that right now, our average contract is spending 4 days in the draft stage, I can monitor after we make this change to the publicity clause, does that time in draft stage go down? So the next time you go into a leadership meeting, you won't be telling a story of how many things legal has done. Instead, you can tell them the story of how legal, the strategic business partner, saw an opportunity to shorten sales cycles and then made it happen.